righty then. Let's go to Jill Kelley, the whistleblower on Petraeus, who sounds stable, sure.
Mm-hmm.
She's $2 million in debt. She was in debt from throwing parties. She has a crazy sister who Petraeus has testified that you're not crazy. She also has a guy who she knows in the FBI who likes to send her pictures of himself in various poses of undress. And she's a socialite who apparently also is a honorary consul general. And we find this out.
I didn't know there were honorary consul generals,
Yes,
but apparently there are.
Yeah, she's got the plates.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently we find this out because she used it while she called 911.
All right, we'll get all started, Joe.
Thank you. And, I don't know if by any chance, because I'm an honorary consul general, so I have inviolability, so they should not be able to prop my property. I don't know if you want to get diplomatic protection involved as well, but now because that's against the law.
Hold on just a second. Hold on.
We're getting diplomatic protection involved as well.
Diplomatic protection.
Mm-hmm. Because she's got inviolability. So
now, in case you don't know what infallibility is, I had to think for a second because I believe that goes back to like King George, the last time that was
or beyond.
Yeah, that means that you can't be molested or disgraced or
transgressed against
or dishonored.
Dishonored. Yeah. Honey, you've been dishonored long ago.
So she's got a trespasser on her property. So obviously that's against inviolability. She can't be violated in that way.
Right, so she didn't know if they want to get...
Obviously, did you use the term obviously in there?
Obviously.
Well, of course, obviously. And let's just be very clear. You got a trespasser, and you are you have inviolability.
You're consul general.
Or you
honorary,
just somehow or another, you have inviolability.
Yeah, well, right.
You can get diplomatic security involved. This is not working well for her sanity.
I've applied for inviolability. Recently, and I'm awaiting. I'm still waiting.
Really?
Yeah.
I just took it.
Did you?
I just climbed over the fence and I just took it. I'm inviolable.
You're inviolable?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's sweet.
Nice.
I'm an illegal. Oh, I shouldn't say illegal. That's not right.
Are you undocumented?
I'm an undocumented inviolable
person.
No, I'm undocumented inviolable. That's who I am.
Inviolable?
Yes.
I'm
an undocumented inviolable.
Okay.
Okay.
That's awful.
You cannot molest me. You cannot besmirch me.
But no one knows that. Because you're undocumented.
I'm telling you, everybody knows that.
Well, then it would be documented.
No, it's just known. I just don't have the paperwork.
Nobody follows it very well because I've seen you violate it in many ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm calling diplomatic security. I'm calling the undocumented diplomatic security.
I would start with 911 right now.
Right.
Give them a call. See what happens. Get somebody over here.
So what happened with her?
Well, let's see.
This is now it's inviolable.
Inviolable.
Mm-hmm. All right, no problem. I'll let the officer know.
Thank you.
All right, crazy lady. He's like, okay, I know who she is now. She's crazy.
He's calling the officer, and he's saying, oh, geez, Officer Jones, we've got somebody with inviolability.
Not inviolability.
Get there now.
What is happening?
Get there now.
Our country is dying.
How
can the inviolable be transgressed?
1 Adam 12. 1 Adam 12. We've got inviolability being violated. See the man.
See the man about inviolability. Transgression. Code 12. We don't have a code 12, do we? Yes. One of the inviolable being transgressed right now. Stop talking, man. Into the car. Hit the streets. Oh, man.
This poor woman. On the one hand,
On the one hand, it's just so darn funny.
it is. And on the other hand, her life's been turned upside down.
And we don't know anything about her.
We don't know if she's a
if she's
spy.
done anything wrong at all yet.
We don't know.
We don't know anything.
We don't
yet.
know. Listen to what he just jumps to. We don't know that she's a spy. I was going to go to maybe that she's, maybe somebody who sleeps around. I was going to go there, but you go right to the spy.
Well, I read it on the Daily Coast. It's got to be true, right?
Oh, we don't know that she's a spy.
It's just sad because here we are. We hear these reports every day where drones are now flying. How do we not have a drone over the invaluable houses? I don't understand that. Shouldn't we always have a drone over invaluable houses?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the sort of thing you guys would support?
It is.
I mean, look, I don't want to spend a lot of money as a government, but obviously I would spend it on that.
I would be concerned that sometimes they might go over insoluble houses rather than invulnerable.
Right.
You know what's really funny is she was asking, she had somebody on the front porch, and she's seriously asking for diplomatic security from the same group of people? Really? That we had a guy who was inside the safe room of the safe house, and he was calling and saying, hey, could I maybe have some security? And they let him die? Wow, she's got a set on her. No, I'm an honorary.
That is an amazing point.
That's really sad.
Yeah. It's really sad. Really sad. She's looking for something that we couldn't get with an actual ambassador.
Yeah.
In an actual dangerous situation, we couldn't get it. And she wants it because somebody's on her porch. And you're not even an ambassador.
Amazing.
It's incredible. It's incredible. But she has connections, All the generals come over. She's $2 million in debt. Really? Because of parties? That's how they went into debt?
Supposedly. That's at least in part. I mean, they've got... the house is $1.5 million, which is, that's expensive, but that's not massively extravagant. And
that's certainly not a very expensive house on Bayshore.
No, it's a cheap house on Bayshore, I'm sure.
And then
it's a trailer on Bayshore.
They've got some like office building or something in downtown Tampa that's $2 million in debt or something. So, I mean, but in part, apparently throwing the parties helped get them where they are today, which is massively in debt.
Right. One of the reports that I read yesterday said basically the husband would go out with these and earn a lot of money, and they would spend it and more apparently on these extravagant parties to be tied into the scene, the military scene there in Tampa.
One of our strongest affiliates, in fact, our flagship for started the show is in Tampa.
Yep.
We should talk to people in Tampa. I mean, somebody's got to know her. Why don't we have? If you know her in Tampa, call us.
Yeah, I'd like to hear somebody who on from her defense as well, because that sort of stuff hasn't come out yet.
Here's another thing that is really, really disturbing. She immediately, yesterday morning, she had the lawyer for Bill Clinton and the PR person for Michael Vick.
Yeah, I read that.
I mean,
but
wow, that's a little fast.
I'm a little bit hesitant on that one too, because we have PR people. And I'm
Glenn Beck.
I know, but I used to react the same way to all of those stories. Whenever someone get in trouble, they hire this crisis person who would come in and be like, "Oh man, they must have really did something."
No. Look,
but it's like a person like this isn't used to controlling a media firestorm that is now a global story.
Within a day, you have the attorney that defended Bill Clinton and the Michael Vick crisis PR person. I'm Glenn Beck. I don't even know who the Michael Vick crisis PR person is. My wife, she's not going to be. If something happened, she would say, "What could we do?" And I'd be like, "I don't know. Maybe we should." I mean, really? It's like the day you're the victim. You're the victim, right?
Yeah, but I mean, she had to have known this was coming, right? This is not day one of this to her.
I'm sorry.
I mean, they've been looking at 20,000 pages of emails from her. And, I mean, she had to know this was going on before it came out. So, I mean,
if there's nothing going on, why would you think that? And
because
who would give you the indication of anything?
I just think
Except-
it doesn't indicate when you're in a story like this. I no longer believe it indicates guilt to go out and get people.
Oh no,
PR
I
in
don't
crisis
either.
Situations.
No, I don't either.
Because you have
I don't
no,
either.
especially as a regular citizen, have no
Yeah, look,
idea how to handle.
If it
something
was
like this.
today, fine. But it was like 2 days ago. It's just like, really? We didn't even know who she was. We didn't know who she was, and she had these guys.
Right, but she had to know we would know soon, right?
She thinks she has diplomatic immunity.
That's a fair point.
I mean, geez, for the love of Pete.
I'm just saying, if this Petraeus thing breaks, she knows as soon as that happens that she's involved in this tight circle, and that she knows this person. She's the one that started the investigation. Remember, so she has to. I mean, she probably knows this is a big story at some point.